with that, welcome everyone back to Corsace Open 2021. I am Fiery Rage, going to be joined by Chillier Pair at some point in the future. He is currently making his lunch, so we will be hearing from him hopefully shortly. But for now, we got yourselves a match between The Bench and EnterTeamName, a matchup that on paper should be fairly close, actually. EnterTeamName consisting of Zyson, Emwa, Dragbit3, Smarty Ethics, notable tournament players, as well as the bench consisting of Umbre, Xylus, BTMC, Koleku, Thieves, Stacker Joe, among others. So on paper, this matchup should be fairly close, especially given the fact that it's round of 32. The pools are not ridiculously difficult quite yet. Still leeway for players to get those four-way FCs or just get some unlucky misses. We're gonna be getting into the pick and ban phase. For those unaware, Corsace does pick and bans slightly differently. As you can see, there are essentially bans and picks are done before the match even starts. And once we get into it here, once we decide who will be Team 1 and Team 2, we can go into a depth of that a bit more. But picks and bans are done completely prior to the match. So rosters and picks will be essentially back-to-back. This match is a singular best-of-9. This is a winner's bracket match, so whoever loses this is not out of the tournament. They have the loser's bracket still afterwards. While we are waiting here, you can type !donate if you want to donate to the prize pool. The prize pool donations directly go to the top teams in the tournament. So if you want your favorite players and your favorite tournament players especially to get more money, you can donate to the prize pool to make that happen. Subscribing to twitch.tv/Corsace also is a way of doing it. However, that is somewhat dependent on Twitch payout. But you get such amazing emotes when you sub to Corsace as Pepe Business. He is in the business. And for those also wondering, you can predict who is going to be the winner of this match with your channel points that you have saved up throughout watching twitch.tv/Corsace. You can vote and predict who will win the match, the bench or EnterTeamName. You can get some free channel points that way, even though it doesn't really do anything. But you get such wonderful commands, such as when you see it. Man, I am still going to have to stall, aren't I? Okay, these teams are taking a while, to say the very least, to actually get into the lobby. So, how about we play a little game? It's called, count the number of triangles in the background of this waiting screen here. got 1, 2, 3, 5. There are several triangles in this. Shoutouts to the designer for Corsace. Pretty sure primarily that was K2, unless I am incorrect. Cavo having some fun with the team switching here. This will be one of those scenes. Will be what we use when the teams actually decide what team order they want to be in. Which we are currently still waiting on. It's been 6 minutes since the match has been scheduled to start. And these players are not ready. On the bright side, Chillier can, at the very least, come over here and eat his food, come back just in time for the pick and ban phase. So he's got that much going for him. You'd probably...
Do we want ASMR eating stream?
Okay. I don't think that's what we wanted, but...
It could be.
Welcome. Everyone say hello to Chillier Pair. That is the second commentator for this match. We are still waiting.
We're still waiting. We're preparing. They're preparing. Someone is preparing themselves.
They are currently deciding heavily.
They're making the decisions. Are they entering their team name? I think they're figuring out their team name.
It is possible.
It's possible. I'm not entirely sure who they would be waiting for. Looking at the two team rosters, I would say it's more likely that we're waiting for EnterTeamName. Oh, they're stalling for Xylus, of course. So, the bench is the perpetrator. Everyone, shame them. Apparently, Mr. Edward just woke up as well. This is a predicament.
We actually might be having some slight miscommunications here, because I believe, if I remember correctly, Xylus is actually at the Canadian Ontario meetup that's currently happening. So we were trying to contact a player that is not here.
If the player is not here, there is a chance that they won't show up. Therefore, we are waiting for nothing. Oh, wait, nope, he's streaming. Let's see what's going on the stream of said player.
He's playing the pool.
He's playing the pool. Are they actually... Is this actually the player they're waiting for? I don't know who they're waiting for anymore. I thought
I'm not entirely sure. I am fairly certain they just have not gotten the invite because the invites were sent out to the wrong people. Because I don't think Xylus is online currently. And I don't think anyone on their team knows that.
Yeah, I mean, Xylus is obviously not here today, so it's someone else needs the invite, but I guess nobody has any clue who is standing it. Just send the invite to someone. Can we appoint Stacker Joe new captain of the bench?
I'm down for that.
I'm
Stacker
down
Joe,
for Stacker Joe.
Famous FL player, FC the Vulture for OMF qualifiers. Congratulations to Stacker Joe.
Stacker Joe, the legend himself. United States Cup participant for the first time this past year. Well, as his own state, I guess. So they got about...
Oh my god, Ed. Okay. Ed is
Oh.
actually griefing.
There we go.
No, Ed is actually griefing. Like, I saw him pull up the invites, and he just didn't click anything.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Okay.
10 past. I guess they made it.
Finally! We are now able to begin the pick and ban phase after 11 minutes.
Oh my god. 11 minutes. And we haven't even gotten the first pick yet either. Or the first ban. Or any... This is a winner's bracket match.
So we will clarify the pick and ban system, as I was going to do that when they actually did this. Too bad it took them 11 minutes to do that. The pick and bans, as I said, are done prior to the match starting. It starts with a first round of bans, as this graphic can clearly show you. It is starting with the bench's ban, followed by EnterTeamName, then a round of picks starting with the bench. Next round of bans after that starts with EnterTeamName. The next round of picks is a double pick, starting with EnterTeamName, double pick from the bench back to EnterTeamName. Then a third wave of bans and picks to follow that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Second set of... second ban, rather. We're going to get into the first set of bans. Into the first set of picks. The bench going to be running with their roster today. Minus Xylus, Ombre, BTMC, Coalia Q, Thies, Stacker Joe, Vesprit, and Will Stetson. You have EnterTeamName on the bottom. Stimpay, Zason, Emla, Dragbit3, Woofle, Smarty, Effix, and Kalengi. That is a schedule team. Wow. That strong rosters. Winners bracket match. Both of them have done well enough for themselves to make it here. Fairly high seedings as well for both teams. So an impressive lineup here. EnterTeamName, the 21st seeded team out of qualifiers. The bench, I believe, is sitting at 12th or 13th. So
11th, I believe.
11th by... So it's 11th by BW... yeah. Okay, so 11th BWS and then 12th seeded out of qualifiers. So pretty close. They did well for themselves to seed fairly close to their team average ranking. And then EnterTeamName a little bit lower, but do not discount them because of that 21st seeding in qualifiers. They have some very strong players. Unfortunately, most of their cap comes from their skill cap, which doesn't come into play quite as
Yes!
Oh, there it is. We knew Stacker Joe.
For those unaware, I just want to clarify. For those unaware, Hidden 3 has not been picked the entire tournament. Actually, it has been picked once in the previous match, but it has not been played. So I was really, really concerned that we would just have absolutely no one play this map. But now we are finally going to actually have a match that plays this map.
Oh my god, the 0 pick rate, the full ban rating, everything. 1 pick so far before this. That is... It's enough to make a grown man cry.
It's finally happening.
Oh my goodness.
Finally happening. To go over the recap for the first bans, DT3 coming in from the bench. Down Xylus, that's not entirely surprising, I suppose, given that Xylus is one of their main speed players. Nomad 2 from EnterTeamName, also not terribly surprising, given the fact that the bench consists of a lot of very good stream players.
Very understandable for both of these teams. It's kind of interesting to look at, though, because, you know, the bench sitting there with a very strong Nomad 2 lineup, I can't imagine that it's overall that much stronger than what EnterTeamName would be able to put up. I mean, players to the likes of Woofle and Emlaw and Zason and Dragbit should be able to handle a Nomad 2 fairly well, but maybe the consistency coming into question, or maybe not having all players in full form today. Not entirely sure what would be going on with some of these players. A little bit of a late match for them, given having players like Zason and Dragbit. They're going to be kind of playing at an uncomfortable time right now. Europeans and the Americans should be fine. It's late enough in the day that MLaw shouldn't be having any trouble here on the West Coast.
Also, just to mention, since these timers are being run down, if a timer is sufficiently run down, it'll randomly pick a map or ban a map for the teams. But we'll be seeing EnterTeamName banning Nomad 6. Quite a stark contrast in comparison to Nomad 2. Much more rhythm-oriented, more gimmicky. A lot of weird overlaps in that map that can throw you off guard.
Definitely, and that's an interesting point that I don't think people realize about this compared to other tournaments with their pick and ban phases. Generally, in most other tournaments, if your timer runs out on your respective pick or ban, it goes to the other team, and you essentially lose your ability to gain the foothold in that slot. Here, it is completely random, like you mentioned. There is no skipping it. There's no going to the other team and going back and having, just doing it after the other team does, given that we have preset picks and bans. We keep things moving here, but we will we'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they are strategizing through these timers in order to make their picks and bans here. It's going to be DT1, more speed bans for the bench today.
It's quite surprising to see that over double time 2, though. DT3 and DT2 are much more similar, I would say, than DT1, as that is much more aim-oriented. And if, in my opinion, I would say that the bench has, in general, I believe, fairly solid aim roster all around.
I would agree. I think that if you are running with their normal roster for an aim DT map, which would most likely be Xylus, Koaliq, BTMC, Ombre, they have that solid roster. I wonder if they're just so thrown off by the fact that they don't have Xylus today that they just don't want to take any chances, because ultimately their other 4 players don't really champion the AR 10.1 DT skill set. Will Stetson, of course, not known for playing DT maps or speed for that matter. Stacker Joe, of course, kind of sitting in the same ballpark there. Vesperit and Thieves probably would be a decent fill, but I don't know if they want to take their chances, especially if they think that EnterTeamName has players like Dragbit and Zason available to them today.
Will be the follow-up pick, Nomad 5 for EnterTeamName. That is not too surprising, given the double time bans.
Interested to see what the double pick looks like here from the bench. They opened up with the HD3. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple more hidden picks out of them, or maybe even branching into a free mod a little bit. Given the skill set of, their team is kind of divided in half with their skill sets. They kind of have half this like big aim, speedier lineup, and then that bottom half is kind of falls to the more gimmicky side of things. So they have a good split between their players. They have a very good hard rock roster. They have, a very good hidden reading roster. So, a team that kind of falls true to what we mentioned in previous matches, which is you really want to branch out on those skill sets in order to give yourself the most variety within your picks. They're going to go for a Hard Rock 1, so they're taking advantage of that variety. HD3 and Hard Rock 1, very different.
Yeah, I was going to point out that the bench is much more comfortable on just generic straight Hard Rock, so I was not going to be entirely surprised if they decided to go for Hard Rock 1 or Hard Rock 3 here, as those are arguably the more generic and standard of the Hard Rock maps. We also, fun to note, I believe we have not seen Hard Rock 2 played yet, and that is a potential pick.
It would be good to see a Hard Rock 2 pick come out here. It wouldn't be unsurprising. I think the Hard Rock players on the bench give them an open opportunity to go for it. I think most people opt out of it, given that It doesn't fall into those kind of generic hard rock skill sets either, you know, the precision or aim. It's more of a niche type hard rock, so you gotta kind of find those more well-rounded hard rock players to go through, and I think if you were ever going to do that, especially with a lobby full of Umbre, BTMC, and Thieves, for that matter, who are 3 very strong hard rock players all around, I think it's a good branch. But they're going to go back to the Hidden. They're going to stick with that gimmick roster today, it looks like.
Hidden 2, much more flow aim oriented. A couple of weird even streams, but nothing too overly complicated. Should be more than comfortable for both teams.
Looking good on the picks and bans thus far. Nothing too out of character, nothing too surprising from either team here. They're definitely, you know, you kind of have the advantage in these matchups with the higher seeded teams where a lot of these players are very known throughout tournaments for basically the entire year. And it makes it a little bit easier to pick and ban around specific skill sets because it's very evident based on, you know, previous tournaments of the year and other performances, what is, you know, kind of going on with that. Apparently, we're going to take just a little bit longer on the picks and the bans here. The players have managed to take so long to go through the picks and bans that the lobby has actually closed itself because there is a 30-minute timer on lobbies for auto-closing if you don't put a map on. So we've effectively taken about 30 minutes to get through half of the picks and bans. So round of applause for the 2 teams
That is
here.
so wholesome.
Oh my god.
That is so wholesome. Congratulations. The Bench versus EnterTeamName is the first match to have it close.
In my 4.5 years of playing tournaments, have only seen a lobby close due to stalling once in 4.5 years, and it has now gone up to 2. So,
Man, I have a match after this. I wasn't expecting to stall for this long.
This is sabotaging. Stop sabotaging the staff.
I'm getting owned.
Owned. Destruction. Oh my goodness. So, we're going to get a new lobby open. We're going to replace the MP link. We're going to get the players back in, and we're going to get into these last 3 picks and 2 bans. And then we're going to finally get into the match. At least we're going to see Hidden 3. At least we'll see Hidden 3.
That is the one cherry on top at the very least. We will be getting into a new lobby. Pick and ban phase will resume. If we can hopefully do picks and bans faster, as teams actually had time to discuss that during the downtime here. If it somehow still runs down to the 15-second mark, I am going to lose my mind.
This is impressive. This is genuinely impressive. I am impressed. So
I am so impressed right now.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Hopefully, they're gonna get a double timer, I guess, kind of for this pick here, because they had whatever the other lobby was, plus the close timer, plus the time that they are now taking to also decide on the pick.
It is going to be 30 minutes before we get into the first map. That is a new world record.
Or actually might be. We are currently sitting at 24 minutes and 57 seconds past match start time. We are coming up on 25 minutes now, exactly past when this match is scheduled to start. And they have about 5 seconds left in this pick timer.
If they don't pick soon, it'll randomly pick, and it seems like that's going to be the case. We're going to get a random pick here between the remaining maps that aren't banned and the ones that aren't picked. So we will see which one that happens to be. Well, it will be double time 2. Actually, I don't
The RNG is insane.
I'm not entirely sure that was... Yeah, no, okay, that was not an RNG pick. That
Okay, I was
a
gonna
last
say
pick.
the RNG is unbelievable if that's actually what happens there. Luckiest team in the world.
Yeah, it seems like they were just delayed on that. But Double Time 2 going to be the last pick from EnterTeamName. Not surprising, no mod 5 and Double Time 2. 2 Ps in a pod, essentially. And it will be the follow-up Hidden 1 ban. That is the, I'd argue, one of the harder maps in the pool.
Oh, definitely. Fremont won one of the more difficult ones as well, especially for those Hard Rock players with the slider ticks thrown throughout the map there. So 2 more difficult picks being banned out here.
Fremont 1, we will not be getting Genshin Impact in the background.
Unlucky. Unlucky. No,
not necessarily.
No copyright strike for VTuber slash Genshin Impact backgrounds today.
That is molding currently.
Ed is currently punching the wall.
Punch trees.
Punch trees. It's going to be the final 2 picks for both teams here. It's going to be Hard Rock 3, branching out a little bit from the rest of their picks on EnterTeamName here. Going to kind of pick into something that the bench may have looked for on their last pick. So it'll be interesting to see what the bench looks for on this last one. A Hidden 1 being gone and having picked Hidden 2 and 3. They're going to have to look elsewhere, potentially towards maybe a no mod 4 free mod. It looks like it's going to be free mod.
Not too... Actually, kind of surprising, as EnterTeamName going to be picking the Precision, and then the bench picking the low AR and Precision-oriented free mod. But that is the pick and ban phase finally done with. We'll be starting with the map that no one has ever seen before, Hidden 3.
So, the uncharted territory for these 2 teams to be opening up the match. Again, the bench with a very strong gimmick roster for this type of hidden map. More so by a decent margin, I think, than EnterTeamName. There are some very solid players over EnterTeamName, but they really don't have any of those strong players that are super favored towards this skill set in general. You know, they have a couple, but I mean, if you're really looking towards most of their strong players, I mean, you're basically already cutting out MLaw, Smarty, and Ethics, who are really not hidden players by the base set there. Zayson should have no trouble on this map, and Woofle should be perfectly fine, but it does leave those other 2 spots up for question. The bench, a little bit more solidified here. Will Stetson and Stacker Joe should be playing this guaranteed. It looks like it's going to be Ombre and Thieves for the other 2 coming in for this. Xylus, I believe, would normally play this map if he was at regular setup slash available for this. Yeah. So they'll find a little bit of a fill there. Ombre and Thieves, certainly not bad options to fill in the slots for the hidden here, and they're going to be getting right into this.
Dragbit actually almost missing the start timer there. But we will be getting into it, finally.
Oh, wait. Imaginary Vaxe is now gone from the lobby. Wait. EnterTeamName is now missing a player.
Yeah!
He actually left the lobby or disconnected. Oh, and they're going to make a roster switch? That's not allowed. What?
Oh,
wait.
Yeah!
Wait a second. Imaginary Vaxe is... Wait, which on EnterTeamName? Okay, so Imaginary Vaxe is Stimpay. Yeah, you can't roster swap after the timer ends. Apologies, EnterTeamName, but that's not how tournaments work. So,
and there's...
and they're still trying to...
Oh, this is the... Oh my god, this is a disaster.
I don't understand what is occurring right now.
It's the worst day ever.
This is... Was there a full moon tonight? Can someone check the forecast or something? Let me see. Wait, moon phase today. Let's check this out. Oh my god, it's a full moon today.
everything has
I
been
knew
answered.
it. I knew it. Everything makes sense.
I have been enlightened.
It's a full moon, actually. Oh my goodness.
Oh, we are going to finally be getting into the first map after 31 minutes.
Oh my god. Oh, it is 1:30 in the afternoon Eastern, and we are already losing our minds here at Corsace. Love to see it. Oh my goodness, this is a organizational disaster. Wow. Zason says, we are abusing. Zason is proud of their performance right now. Oh, goodness. All right.
We are getting into the map.
The map is starting. We are starting Hidden 3. At least it is Hidden 3. Again, we have some save. We have some saving grace.
This is a map that we have not seen played before at all. But we are not dealing with ideal rosters from both teams here.
Oh,
One of them is missing Xylus, the other one is not having Woofle in for this.
Well, Zason having a fun time with the accuracy at the beginning of this, and the misses as well as Imaginary Vaxe. Will Stetson and Thieves with some early breaks to trade it out. It's already 2 FCs to 2.
And you can pretty much see why no one picked this.
Yeah!
This is unarguably, in my opinion, the absolute hardest map in the pool.
Well,
which is kind of ironic, as this is also the lowest star rating map in the pool, at below 5 stars.
Gimmick is a joke. Gimmick is a lie. It's all over. Oh my goodness. The BPM doesn't make it any easier for these players as well, increasing that density because of it. A lot of slider breaks, a lot of continued misses here, but it's going to favor the combo to the bench now with those overall-ins, as well as Smarty and Thieves trading out breaks. It's Dragbit to Combit, Stacker Joe, and Umbre supporting combo.
Yeah, these rhythm changes from 1/3 to 1/4 are catching so many of these players just off guard entirely, and it's not easy to act whatsoever. You can already see just even players that are usually somewhat comfortable on AR8 hidden, like Zyson, struggling to act this map.
Definitely a big trouble there. It's still Dragbit versus Stacker Joe right now. A lot of breaks on the Buzz Slider pattern right there, but it's Stacker Joe and Will Stetson to both hold through that. Will Stetson besting the combo and the accuracy of Smarty. Likewise on Stacker Joe, the accuracy advantage over Dragbit's going to keep this pretty heavily in the favor of the bench, not to mention Imaginary Vaxe struggling, to say the least, unfortunately, on this pick. 50,000 soon.
Well, that is unfortunately what happens when you run down the timer so much. You're gonna not play a map that you're actually meant to be in for, unfortunately. But Will Stetson will drop his supporting combo.
Well, unfortunately, Smarty does as well for the side of EnterTeamName.
And there goes Drag. And now it's the Stacker Joe show. Congratulations. Never mind!
Oh!
Never mind!
Whoops! Stacker Joe.
It doesn't matter, though. This is firmly at the bench's point.
That is all kinds of solid in there for Stacker Joe, bringing his team into the win there. Dragbit with a very solid performance for EnterTeamName, unfortunately not able to do enough there. The overall team performance on the side of the bench just far stronger than the other 3 players on EnterTeamName there. And Stacker Joe, the old map fantasy player for the United States, doing what he needed to do on the Gimmick Hidden pick there. Alongside some good supporting score from Will Stetson at 415k, higher than any player on the side of EnterTeamName aside from Dragbit as well.
Well, now that everything has settled down a bit and we've gotten the pick that no one has ever played before out of the way, let's get into something a bit more standard. No Mod 3. This is the most picked map so far of this pool at 20 picks and 0 bans. Not been banned a single time.
Understandable. If you ever banned out a Wowie map, you do get sent to Brazil.
A fate worse than death.
A fate worse than death. Well, it's a good song, good map. We've seen a lot of players have a lot of trouble on the sliders on this map, especially all the way from the beginning. So this is going to be interesting between these teams here. EnterTeamName does have a strong roster for this type of map here. We saw maybe a little bit of an underperformance on that previous pick from some players that we're going to need to see some improvements from. Namely, I believe Zason and Dragbit should be some big players on this. Smarty as well, usually fairly good at the techie/gimmick skill set across multiple mods, so they're going to need to see some good performance there.
We'll be seeing MLaw swap in for EnterTeamName here. We get the showcase of BTMC and Coley coming in for the bench to replace Umbre and Stacker Joe, respectively. But overall, the same roster for EnterTeamName at the very least.
Well, it's going to be kind of an unorthodox roster here for the bench. Will Stetson, Thieves, Koaliku, and BTMC, players that on paper have very different skill sets across all four of them, but grouping together for the No-Mod 3 pick here. Going to see if they can make something work out here. Will Stetson's going to find an early break. No one to trade that up, so it's going to be a very small yet early combo lead here for EnterTeamName. MLaw's accuracy is actually going to keep this relatively close.
Yeah, this map is not long at all, around 2 minutes for this, so early breaks like that will make a difference in the long run, especially if players end up breaking somewhere around here, as this is one of the first hard parts of the map.
Yeah, these doubles are painful.
Surprisingly, no one really doing that, but we'll probably see it during the repeat sliders here. Never mind.
Marty almost got slow slidered. I saw it. It shrunk for just a second. Held it.
I was expecting a lot more people to actually get slow slidered there, but everyone going to be holding through that, so Will Stetson's early break, the only difference maker currently, as we get into the halfway mark of the map.
Oh, combo's holding strong. Big first key eye here. Let's see who holds through the doubles. It's not going to be Koaliku.
And that's going to be giving EnterTeamName a massive advantage here going into this section. Still holding the four-way FC for them. Koaliku just struggling to get a combo during this double section here. Well as Will Stetson for that matter, and I think at this point, that probably is going to do it. MLaw does trade it out, but Will Stetson and Koaliku just keep missing.
Koaliku, not normally someone that you see in for these kind of tech-style picks here. Will Stetson struggling quite a bit, and Thieves does find a slider break there as well. Unfortunately, that is one FC left on the side of the bench. BTMC kind of coming in and does what he does. He's FCing these early round of 32 picks here, but going up against 3 FCs, there is absolutely not a thing he can do, and with the map starting to come to a close here, the note density is just not there for the bench to be able to make a comeback here. So EnterTeamName is going to be grabbing their first pick here.
With an actually very solid score. 3 FCs and a 600k from MLaw. Not bad at all, especially given the accuracy on Smarty and Dragbit. 99% for both of them, almost 99 on Zyson. Solid stuff all around from them. Solid first pick.
Very, very strong there. MLaw, unfortunate slider break towards the ending there, made a massive improvement from the earlier parts of the map. We were about 400 combo into the map, and MLaw had closer to 93 to 94% accuracy. So a big improvement for the ending. A slider break, getting rid of that 4-way FC there, but a very strong C performance. BTMC pulling it out for the bench there. Unfortunately, Thieves with that one miss towards the ending, and Koaliku and Will Stetson having a little bit more trouble than they would have liked on that. Not doing them any favors. They're going to go into No-Mod 5. They're going to have that second pick in a row here from EnterTeamName. We'll see if they're able to take that lead up 2-1 right now. If not, the bench does have their double pick after this in order to pull themselves ahead again. So can keep going back and forth here for as long as you'd like.
Yeah, and this pick, I'd feel like, would probably favor EnterTeamName, if I'm being entirely honest, since Xylus is currently missing from the bench. That's one of their staple speed players.
Well, let the rosters get set in for next No Mod 5 pick here, and we'll see who's feeling decent on the speed today. We saw something similar yesterday, or a little bit earlier, rather, where we had a team pick into the speed skill set entirely and just continued to underperform across the speed set here. So hopefully EnterTeamName is feeling good on this No Mod 5 here, because they do have DT2 afterwards as their next pick after the double one here that they're going to need to win if the bench is able to pick up both of their picks here. So see if they're going to hold it down with the roster today. It's going to be big for the bench missing Xylus, one of their better speed players on that roster there, but Thies is going to cover it nicely, hopefully. We'll see if they can put up that good performance overall.
FX coming in for Dragbit on EnterTeamName. Umbre swapping in for the bench. Be getting into this speed pick, and you can just see right off the bat bursts and triples galore. 240 BPM, unrelenting. Looks like Smarty going to be the only person caught out by the beginning so far. He is not too happy about that miss.
Not at all, unfortunately. A dangerous miss for them with BTMC, Thies, and Umbre all holding the combos right here. Jason and FX are going to try and make something happen. BTMC does find a break, and Umbre as well. That's a double combo break that the bench could not have afforded there. It's Thies is the only person standing in between certain doom for the bench here. Score lead is going to go back rather quickly. You can see that double FC putting in the work with the supporting combos from Smarty and MLot being massive now. There it goes.
We only have a third of the map remaining. This map is not long at all, much like No Mod 3. And Thies going to be dropping the FC. I think that's pretty much just going to be it at this point, unfortunately. These two FCs from FX and Zyson going to be pretty heavily stacking this in the favor of EnterTeamName on their second pick.
That is going to do it into the last couple bits of the map here. We just got a little bit of a slowdown section into the ending, and we're going to be ending up with EnterTeamName grabbing their pick once again. So no break points yet. We're going to go into the double pick of the bench here in regular fashion. I'll see if they're able to pick up both of those, keep this match right and tied up. Could see a tiebreaker if things continue on this route.
Yeah, an unfortunate S rank from Umbre, but stellar FCs from FX and Zyson there to bring the point home. One miss from Smarty, BTMC, and Thies. Accuracies across the board, not really having the best time. We're going to be getting into much more generic maps now as we get into Hard Rock 1. Out of the remaining maps, probably the most generic of the bunch. If you like aim.
If you like the aim, we'll see the consistency maybe hold up for these two teams here today. See how that goes for them.
Just going to be getting the finalized rosters in here. Hopefully it should be getting started soon.
I'll wait for rosters to get settled in here. See if the bench is going to be able to grab their own pick to keep things rolling.
They are going to be starting hopefully soon. Timer is about to run out, so be strictly enforcing timers, and we'll be getting into the match pretty much immediately, or not.
Looks like it's gonna be right
okay.
there.
Everyone in the chat is just as confused as I was. Umbre is playing the wrong map. What is happening?
Bencho. Yes, thank you, Bencho. Appreciate you. There we go. Getting into the map here. We'll see who's got the stronger Hard Rock roster today. On paper, it definitely should be the bench, and there's a reason that they picked this map. You know, you go into a match with BTMC, Ombre, and Thieves on your Hard Rock lineup, and that is no surprise that that one is why they picked this map here. Not a bad roster on EnterTeamName, of course. Mlaw, really solid aim player. Dragbit has looked good across the board today. FX, a strong Hard Rock aim player. I think Smarty is the least confident one for them on a map like this. Smarty generally hangs towards the Hard Rock gimmick maps rather than the basic aim, so we'll see how he's able to do for them today. He's holding it down despite the accuracy drops to a significant amount.
Yeah, the accuracy drop is going to be what's making this in the favor of the bench, despite Umbre's earlier miss and continued misses, as a matter of fact. Mlaw does trade, however.
This is a Germany when Hard Rock moment right now. Sparty and Umbre.
Well, that happens, you know.
It happens.
Despite that, Umbre's score is still higher than Smarty's, despite his continued combo increase.
Whoever said this wasn't an act game. Whoever said it. Well, to a certain degree, I guess. He's got almost 10% less accuracy here. Starting to improve a little bit.
Getting back into the swing of things, I think.
It's gonna stay relatively close. Mlaw breaking is actually gonna hold this a little bit more solidly on the side of the bench. Smarty's accuracy as one of those FCs, or near FC rather, is really doing quite a bit of damage with the higher accuracy on the side of the bench. Thieves and BTMC looking pretty good, and there goes FX.
Still about half of the map remaining, though, and there's still a 1/3 section to come shortly. Umbre is going to be full missing that stream. That's actually kind of big.
That is big, and that is... that's going to start to get interesting here. You got supporting combo here on Mlaw and FX, but that three-way FC being held on the bench is essentially going to keep this score lead locked on their side right here. Unfortunately, again, for EnterTeamName, one of their FCs is on Smarty, basically, which the accuracy is doing no favors there. Smarty's almost 100,000 scored down on the nearest full combo here because of the accuracy and that early break with about 50 combo in.
And Umbre keeps missing as well. But the act difference is what's keeping them in the game right now, for the most part.
Really is. T is almost up at 99% accuracy. BTMC close to 98%. Has an A rank. Actually missed the first node of the map, most likely, it looks like.
Nefek's going to be dropping his supporting combo. Still 3 FCs to 2. And with FX continuing to drop, I feel like that is going to seal this point solidly in favor of the bench here.
Goes Umbre one more time, but it's far too late in the map with this three-way FC being held. The score lead is continuing to go over to the side of the bench here. Thieves, BTMC, and Koaliaku all strong on the Hard Rock aim right here. Again, a scary roster on paper. Thieves finds... Oh my goodness, Thieves one missing maps is the biggest meme ever. He can't FC. It's impossible.
He will be getting the second highest score in the lobby and the highest score on the bench regardless of that. as BTMC finds a miss early on in the map as well. The only FCs coming from Dragbit and EQ.
Impressive performances there for a lot of people, actually. A lot of 1 million plus scores, a lot of close to 1 million. Smarty, unfortunately, the accuracy and wherever the hell those 25 misses came from at the beginning, almost putting up a decent 1 mil score as well. And then everyone else kind of fell to that, you know, halfway 500K. Just happens you find that miss towards the middle, towards the beginning of the map, and it caps your score. But both teams continuing to win their own picks here. We're going to go back to the hidden pool on Hidden 2. A little bit more comfortable of a hidden pick here. This will definitely be more contested than the Hidden 3 was. I think the bench had well more of a solid roster for something that gimmicky. Hidden 2 starts to become more comfortable as a range for these players, which means that Zayson might be more important here coming up for EnterTeamName.
This is much more. This is probably the most straightforward pick of all of them in the hidden pool. Hidden 1 being a bit more slider oriented, and Hidden 3, as we saw, being not really oriented for anyone in particular, for that matter.
Well, we'll see who's looking good on the HD2 today. Again, we keep mentioning the bench with a very small lead on paper, I think, in terms of hidden picks, given that they have more of a visible hidden roster for these kind of gimmick maps here. But EnterTeamName, again, no slouches. They do get the opportunity to get Woofle in for this one, which is going to make a massive difference from what we saw in the Hidden 3.
It won't be a forced stand-in for this point, but it will be Stacker Joe, BTMC, Umbre, Will Stetson on the side of the bench, Smarty, Zyson, Dragbit, and Woofle on the side of EnterTeamName. More or less what we saw in Hidden 3. Just BTMC and Woofle being the new additions here.
A little bit of those changes there, but could be necessary. BTMC, I definitely think, is a little bit stronger on these type of hidden picks than EQ is. Who I think would be their next probable option here. We'll see how everyone holds up. Smarty gonna find a break towards the beginning of the map here. Smarty, again, not normally known for playing hidden maps, had a little bit of trouble on the Hidden 3 as well. Was able to recover towards the ending of the map, and we'll see if he's able to do the same here after an early break. But there's a triple break, all on the side of EnterTeamName as well. There goes Stacker Joe, though. It's gonna stay tied.
Not quite tied yet, actually.
Almost.
2 FCs to 1 right now on Woofle. BTMC and Will Stetson holding strong through this first part here as we get into some of the more harder sections of the map later on here. This is where the flow aim aspect really starts kicking in.
Yeah, unfortunately, EnterTeamName had the opportunity, and it's opened up even more now with Will Stetson finding that break. That is a big score gone, but it's going to leave them with a combo lead for just a little while here as Will Stetson continues to find a couple breaks here. He's going to have to start holding again.
We're going to be getting into the flow aim part of the map now. This is all up to BTMC holding his combo, and he doesn't! Woofle with the FC going to be bringing this back regardless of the misses from everyone now. Woofle does find a miss, but Dragbit and Stacker Joe have tied combos, and there's just no combo on anyone else. But it's going to be so close!
Someone needs to chain miss. Woofle finds a chain miss as well as Smarty. That's going to be enough. He's got to hold it. Stacker Joe has to hold the combo right now. Dragbit has the accuracy lead, but it's going to be enough into the finish. The chain misses do it. It sends it to the bench, and they get their point by the skin of their teeth on a big chain miss from Smarty and Woofle.
A lot more close than you probably would have wanted.
Yeah, Woofle makes a difference. Oh my goodness.
Stacker Joe with the 1 miss. Stacker Joe plays hidden, in case you cannot tell.
He plays a little bit of the hidden modification. Dragbit continuing to be one of the highest performing players on the side of EnterTeamName. Woofle coming in for the substitution and making a large difference, almost winning them that pick in the ending. Unfortunately, just not enough, with Stacker Joe matching up that next highest combo. Of course, Will Stetson and BTMC holding the strong early combo as well. We're going to get into double time now, speed time. We'll see how the bench fares on this one. Nomad 5 was pretty handedly won by EnterTeamName, so we're going to be looking to grab DT2 in similar fashion.
And DT2 is more or less just the exact same as Nomad 5. A lot of bursts, a lot of high BPM strain, a lot more, if you're assuming you're right-handed, a lot more left-hand strain on your tapping hand rather than the aiming hand, as most maps usually test.
Well, looking for some similar rosters, I believe, to what we saw on the Nomad 5 in terms of putting people in for this. I don't think we're going to be seeing any massive changes here. Unfortunately, there is not a ton of variation available on the side of the bench, especially missing Xylus. EnterTeamName, you know, they kind of don't have a lot of variation to a different point where, you know, they have players like Kalengi and Impossible Vax, or Imaginary Vaxe, for their other two players who really won't be playing a speed pick over some of their other players on this roster. So we'll see how it fares for both teams here, having some pretty solid rosters here on paper and in the lobby.
So we're going to be getting into it here. This map doesn't really ever let up on the burst. It's fairly consistent in difficulty throughout, I would say, and we're going to be seeing Woofle with the early miss. Not going to be too disastrous, given that it was really early on. It seems like everyone recovering nicely, Woofle especially, with the 99.4% on this.
Yeah, that accuracy is going to make up any difference that dropped combo had there. They're actually going to keep in the lead with Thieves finding a big break right there. That is not something you need to see from the bench. We're only a quarter of the way in, and FX does trade it out, so it's not over yet. BTMC, however, trading that miss out is going to keep EnterTeamName in the lead fairly heavily with a all-the-way break from the bench. Oh, goodness.
Goodbye. 3 FCs practically with Woofle with the 99.7%. What?
Okay.
He either missed or slider broke at the very beginning, but he has recovered very nicely.
Yeah.
He's almost tying the score of Smarty with an FC.
For those of you not aware, or those that haven't been made aware yet, Woofle is yummy in my tummy, i.e. OWC 2020 third place, winner of Canadian Draft Cup and Sweet G back in 2020. So he's kind of good at tournaments. Does finally find a break. You know, he's good at tournaments. I never said he was good at DT2.
That is true. That is true. But Smarty holding the combo is going to be what secures it here. FX not too far behind with a nice supporting combo, and unfortunately there's just not really any combo on the bench to even really capitalize off of Smarty's miss there.
Yeah, this score lead is just absolutely massive. The play from Smarty there, as well as Woofle and MLaw. Not too bad in terms of combo right now for the bench. Unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough going into the ending here as long as EnterTeamName holds some form of a combo here. FX really negating anything that the bench is doing right now with that 1K combo here. Woofle coming back up on a 500 combo, as well as Smarty pushing it at the ending here. A couple breaks into the ending, but it is far too late. BTMC, Koli, Q, and Umbre going to hold the combos into the ending for the bench. But that is going to be it. EnterTeamName continuing to champion the speed skill set, and they are going to grab their third pick of this match, keeping it tied 3-3. There's one pick left for each team before we see some
really unfortunate slider breaks.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately for them, they're going to have to go into EnterTeamName's final pick before theirs on the side of the bench, which means that they're going to have to force tiebreaker on their own pick, which is not the worst situation ever, but it definitely puts you in kind of a do-or-die point there. They need that in order to get the tiebreaker if EnterTeamName continues to win their own picks here. Hard Rock 3 does fall a little bit harder onto the side of the bench in terms of skill set here. But I think it's gimmicky enough, and I think it is possibly, you don't normally talk about solo carry performances in matches like this, but Hard Rock 3 is a solo carryable map. It's difficult enough that you'd be hard-pressed to see 1 or 2 FCs on this, so...
Hard Rock 3, despite being a precision pick, is relatively generic. Not many complex rhythms, mostly single taps, if I'm remembering correctly, if not all single taps.
Yes.
So if you have the aim, it is definitely much more comfortable than the likes of, say, pretty much any of the other maps, as a matter of fact. All of them had some form of complex rhythm or rhythm changes.
Well, there's the rosters there. BTMC, Kolikyu, Umbre, Thieves. Again, that classic Hard Rock lineup for the bench here. EnterTeamName, Emla, Smarty, Dragbit, and Zayson. Again, similar lineups to what we've seen out of both of these teams for most of the match here. EnterTeamName, I think, maybe going to be banking a little bit on Smarty for this pick. This starts to get into his skill set in terms of Hard Rock aim, so we'll see what happens there. A lot of question marks in chat.
This match has just been one scuff after another, unfortunately. But we will be getting into the second to last pick here. Tied scoreline. This is EnterTeamName's pick. See if the bench can finally take a break point, or if EnterTeamName will continue to solidify their points on their picks and get it to match point.
We'll see. They're going to look to do that one there. It'll put them in a comfortable position going into match point early. But the bench has a strong Hard Rock lineup. We'll see what happens here. Smarty dropping quite a bit of accuracy again at the beginning of these Hard Rock picks here. Sub 90% act. Dragbit going to hold the double S. No one else up that high at the beginning. Umbre's going to find an early break.
And we'll be giving combo advantage to EnterTeamName for now, but Zayson and Emla as well to follow with their own breaks. So right back towards the bench for combo advantage.
Well, early breaks there. Gonna be kind of detrimental to these teams here. Not a super long pick here, just under 2 minutes. The accuracy is holding fairly strong on the side of the bench here. BTMC kind of letting Ak drop for combo, which is perfectly reasonable right now. This map is a little bit difficult to hold it on given the OD. So we'll see if those combo breaks from EnterTeamName do more damage, and Dragbit's combo break certainly is.
And that actually might straight up seal it. 3 FCs and Umbre recovering very nicely after the first miss.
That's basically a halfway break as well, so Dragbit is really capped to 650 to 700k right now, as well as that break, so that kind of solidifies it there. They were going to try and rely on Smarty for this pick. It really is very heavily into his skill set. Unfortunately, none of his teammates seem to be able to put up a similar performance. BTMC does find a break, but he was one of the lower accuracy plays, so it doesn't matter quite as much for the bench here.
And just not enough map remaining at this point to overcome a 600k or 700k score gap. 2 FCs from Coley and Thieves, alongside an FC from Smarty.
Well,
and will be them closing it out with those FCs, but solid point for the bench, and that is going to be break point and now match point for them as they go into Free Mod 3, the final pick.
This is a little bit of a different scenario now. The bench taking that break point is going to be going into their last pick at match point, which is a very dangerous situation now for EnterTeamName. They have that pick advantage, which, you know, not only gives that confidence that you know what you're doing on this, but you got that little bit of a morale boost there as well. You know that you're on the match point. The pressure is kind of off a little bit. So EnterTeamName is going to have to pull all the stops out here and try and grab TB. Fremont 3 could be contested, depending on how the mod players look on this for both teams. We'll see. The bench going to be able to put up a solid hidden player, I think, as well as a hard rock. We'll see if that no mod combo for them holds up. Similar to EnterTeamName, going to have a good hard rock player. The hidden player probably going to have to be Woofle for them, as looked the strongest out of all of that. Maybe even Dragbit. It depends on how they want to go for that no mod score. Wait for rosters and we'll see.
10 seconds to finalize the rosters here and the mod choices. It's going to be Will Stetson, BTMC, Stacker Joe, Thieves for the bench. I imagine we'll be seeing Stacker Joe on Hidden as well as Will Stetson. Smarty, Emla, Dragbit, and Woofle for EnterTeamName. Woofle probably going on no mod, apparently, as he said. So it will be Dragbit going Hidden, as a matter of fact.
You know, to be honest, again, and I think it was kind of interchangeable with the Hidden. Dragbit has looked really good overall as a top performer for EnterTeamName today. And if Woofle is feeling good on, you know, basically everything, we saw him look really solid on the Hidden pick here, they may just want him going for the guaranteed no mod FC, which is a very solid strategy on a free mod pick like this. It does make a decent bit of difference, especially with both teams over modding here.
The only no mods coming from Woofle and Will Stetson. Stacker Joe on the Hidden to counter Dragbit, and Hard Rocks from BTMC, Thieves, Smarty, and Emla. Thieves on the Hidden Hard Rock.
Well, Thieves is a very strong Hidden Hard Rock player. Essentially what would be considered his main skill set here. Emla and Smarty going to find some very early breaks on the Hard Rock there. The Overmod not really paying off for them right now. We'll see if we get some breaks out of the bench, but the map already about a quarter of the way in, and it's already looking fairly favored to the bench as Smarty finds another break. Big Ki coming up here.
Everyone on the bench holding their own for now, though. Would be very unfortunate to have anyone miss on these single taps. There goes Will Stetson!
Will Stetson. Well, it's a bad combo drop, but it's not the end of the world for the bench there. They do still have that double break, especially with Emla finding a massive chain miss there. It's actually going to give them a little bit of score as well. So Will Stetson's break doesn't mean...
And Woofle breaks as well.
That's big.
3 FCs to... Oh my god!
Whoa!
What just happened?
Difference. It was that one-third to the stream transition basically caught everyone. It's BTMC, the only player to be holding on the bench against Dragbit right now, and he has the supporting combo on Smarty with the Hard Rock. This, Smarty finds a break. It's going to be dead even between BTMC and Dragbit. BTMC has to hold for the bench, and Dragbit has to hold, and Dragbit finds a break. It's going to be BTMC.
Despite the low accuracy on BTMC, his combo is what's making all the difference right now. He cannot afford to miss whatsoever.
Oh my goodness, it may just be enough. It's 200,000 score in the favor of the bench. We're coming into the last quarter of the map right now. The supporting combos are there on the side of the bench with Thieves and Will Stetson. And we have a little bit of a slowdown here with the spinner before we get into the last bit of the map, and it is just so heavily in the favor of the bench. Woofle found a break before the spinner as well. So despite the accuracy, that 200 to 300,000 now score difference is going to hold there. BTMC is not missing.
Pause champ for Edward in the chat. He gets boosted by Twitch emotes. Unfortunately, I just do not think that there's enough map remaining, and Emla missing on this part as well. Pretty much going to seal the fate of this match. The bench will be continuing on despite missing Xylus. Strong performances from all of them.
Oh, BTMC pulls the Thieves.
Yep, there's... Okay. BTMC could not handle the shake.
Oh, no. All right. Well, into the ending, BTMC with a very impressive score. These as well, 709,000 on Hidden Hard Rock, besting any score on the side of EnterTeamName, which is very impressive from them. Double 500K from Will Stetson and Stacker Joe as well on the reading side with the Hidden and the Nomad. And again, like you mentioned, that is it. The bench will be taking the win 5-3, advancing to the next round of the winner's bracket. In the winner's bracket, of course, in the round of 16 there. EnterTeamName will be falling to the loser's bracket. They're going to continue fighting their way through 2 matches every weekend. They are now in single elimination stage down there. No loss can be had. And they're going to look to fight their way through the next couple here. But that is the ending of that match outcome. Congratulations to the bench and best of luck to EnterTeamName.